Morning guys, this is Mr. Rowe. I just thought I'd make you a video revising what you did last lesson, drawing cubes and moving on to cubes and cuboids. The idea of this is that we start developing your 3D drawing and eventually you'll be able to combine 3D shapes to draw more complicated ideas and so on. I'm a little bit out of breath because I just did the Joe Wicks warm up and then ran up the stairs, so currently out of breath at the moment, but I must apologise for my voice. It's very monotone. I can't really change that. It makes David Beckham's voice look interesting, so I apologise in advance. Still, I'll try and talk a little bit less and show you more sort of drawing skills and so on. First thing I'm going to do is use a couple of guidelines up here like this, and I'm going to put a title, cubes. Now you did this yesterday, but this is just going to be our warm-up, so refreshing what we do. Notice with my guidelines I'm using capital letters at the top there, and the capital letters touch the top, touch the bottom. Okay, eventually you can go over that with pen and then rub out the guidelines so you've got a really nice title. Right, all my cubes are going to start off with this is a crow's foot. Okay, you'll notice centre line comes straight down and these point up a little bit. It's like an arrow pointing down. Right, the next stage is on our cube, all the lines, it's like a square, all the sides are the same length. So I'm going to extend this one slightly. This one's a bit long at the moment, so I'm going to put another line going straight up here, and then on this side a line. So what we've got is we've got an arrow pointing down. We've added in parallel lines with this line here each side. Right, next stage, this line here, the angle that that's going at, we want to draw one up here like this. We then come to this side, it's however you feel comfortable, and we draw a line in like this. Okay, right, this is looking a little bit like an open book. Right, and all we need to do now is put a hat on that open book. So it's a bit like an arrow pointing up. I run my pencil over here, draw it in here, and then I run my pencil over this in the same angle. I'm joining it up here. Right, and we've got a cube. Okay, what we want to do now is just darken the lines that we want to keep. So I'm keeping all of these, darken them up because we're happy with it now. Like so. Okay, so I've got my dark cube now. Now I want to put a bold line around the outside. The reason we do this is whenever we draw an idea, which we'll come to later on in a few lessons time, you always want to make it stand out off the page. So you put a thick bold line all the way around the outside. Now notice I haven't done the inside lines, I'm not thickening them up, it's just around the outside to make it stand off the page. Right, what I'm then going to do is I'm just going to shade this one side to show a little bit of shadow. Okay, and then add a label underneath like this. Right, don't want to waste paper, so I'm going to draw a line in half like that. What I want you to do now is start off a crow's foot and fill this page as a warm-up. Fill half the page with a warm-up, and that is just practicing what we did last lesson. Okay, so crow's foot, lines going straight up, turn it into a book, and then put a hat on it. Notice this line here, and this line here, parallel. This line here, and this line, they're all in line, parallel with each other. And then like so. Right, when you filled the page, you can work on darkening your lines and adding bold lines to the outside of all your cubes. And that is the starter for today's lesson. Give that a go.